Thank you for tuning in to Nosing Around with Megan and Tony. I'm your host, Megan Bishop.
And I'm your co-host, Tony Carrico.
How are you, Tony?
I'm great. How are you, Megan?
Good. I'm very excited about the show today. We are gearing up for that wedding season.
That's right. Spring's right around the corner. We're almost into March. We're in February, and folks are planning their weddings for the summer and the fall season already. We've already heard a lot of folks say they've already booked and they're moving through the process. So today's show, we're going to talk to some folks that are businesses that these folks may need to know about.
Yes, we've got Time to Remember, Sounds Great Productions, and Brunswick Plantation on the show. So it's going to be a great show.
So we got photography covered, an event venue with a planner, and we've got a sound production company that can do a lot of different things that we'll talk about.
So we hope that our viewers that are watching, that are planning a wedding or planning an event, that these are three great members that can help them with their event. That's
right. So stay with us, and we'll be right back with their first guest.
I'd like to welcome our first guest on the show today, Stacey Walters with Time to Remember. Thank you so much for being a part of our show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Welcome, Stacey. Good to have you on the show.
Good to see you, Tony.
Let's jump right in. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Wow, we have been around since before 2000 hit. Actually, I've been doing photographs since I turned about 6 or 7 and loved it my whole life. And then in 2000 we started our business, and we've moved the business 3 times. We're finally staying where we are and not running away anymore. And it wasn't running away. It was Frank was in the military. So this is our 3rd studio, and it's in our home, and we're very blessed to be back in Brunswick County.
I think that makes you very unique that you do have a studio and home, and we've actually done some photos with you through the chamber as well, and I had a lot of fun in studio. So tell us a little bit about, do you do weddings? Do you just do in-studio photos? Tell us a little bit about the variety of stuff that you do.
It's so amazing. You know, I've been in this business for so long. We've had so much fun with it. Some of my favorite stuff to photograph is in the studio, but we go all over, up and down the East Coast, and we're getting back into our weddings now, where we had taken a little hiatus and when you're a wedding photographer or a photographer in general, when you take a hiatus, that means doing 4 weddings instead of doing 12 or 15 or 20. Right. 1 year in Columbus, Georgia, we did 52 weddings in 1 year. Wow. So we needed a little break when we got here. We had to build our house out of an old tobacco barn. So that was pretty much what we were doing for the first 4 years here. And now we're ready to jump back in and have some fun with weddings. I love brides. Every one of them is just like every person. Everybody's different. And so you get something unique from everyone that you work with. And we work very closely with our brides, sometimes our grooms as well, but most of the time our brides and mommies and dads and stuff like that. But we do here in the studio a lot of different work, not only weddings, but also high school seniors and babies. I love the babies. And we just try to have as much fun as we possibly can.
Your facility here is unique. It is in your home. Your studio, I heard your daughter say eclectically something earlier. It was a very unique statement. There are so many different things that you can do in the space, but not only in the space inside the house. We've been out here before, as Megan said, and done shootings for our headshots and different things for the chamber. You have a whole plethora of things to do outside too, of different your artistic juices get flowing, and I've seen the photos. It's amazing the different things that you can do. You use props from old movies.
We do.
Cars, trucks, boats.
It's very shabby chic.
Is that the word?
Shabby chic is what we're looking for. Yeah, there's lots of stuff out there, kind of like in my brain. There's lots of stuff going on in my brain, and we just have plenty to choose from. Yeah,
that's what I like about your facility. People can come in here, and it's like going to Hobby Lobby with everything you could ever want for a photographer, or for a photo shoot. You can be, if you want to be a fireman today, if you want to be in a farm with sheep, whatever it is that you want to do, you guys can make it happen here. And that's what really makes Time to Remember such an awesome photography studio.
And you have so much fun with it. I know that we've used you for a few events, and you've brought in a photo booth, and I have not only seen it with chamber events, but with other people as well, and that is so much fun. You have props in it, and it just makes for a great event. So what else can you do other than like a photo booth for events?
Wow, we can bring you an old car if you want an old car. There's lots of cool different things. The photo booth is extremely popular, especially now with weddings. It just adds a little bit of something to do in between that hour or so, or we hope to have at least an hour for our formals after the wedding, before the reception. But it also has just something to do throughout the whole reception. It's a lot of fun, and we have lots of different props and different ways that we can set up the background for the photo booth, and that is, you're able to give that gift of memories right then that day, which is really nice.
And I know you had y'all were at the Oyster Festival, and we had a whole lot of fun with the photo booth with Ozzy, and I know all the guests had a great time, so that was very unique.
Yeah, it's really cool. The way that we do our photo booth is really neat too, because for weddings we have the ability to split it in half, and so the bride has one half and the guest has the other, and it's like a built-in gift as well as something for the bride to be able to see later.
That's very neat.
And that photo booth is available if anybody's having an event, correct? They can contact you guys here at Time to Remember, and we'll talk more later about how to get in contact with you and your location and all, but that could be used for weddings, anniversaries, any type of charitable organizations that are having fundraisers and want to do something different. It's a great opportunity for them to bring in something to keep everybody active.
And it does. It's a lot of fun.
I think we touched on this a little bit in the beginning, but I think what makes your company so unique is that it's a family business. And I love every time I come here or every time I see you at an event, your kids are working with you and they're helping you and your husband. It's wonderful, and I think that's very, very special. So I love hearing your stories, and I love seeing your family, and it just makes it fun.
I think family should be number one in anything and everything that you do. Our togetherness is very important and it's priceless to me. And you're right. Wyatt can run that photo booth like it's nobody's business. He's got it down pat. And Madison is fabulous at all the different things that she helps me with. I'm not sure what I'm going to do without her in the fall when she goes to Appalachian State, but we'll go visit, and hopefully she'll come back. And Frank, without Frank, there would be no Time to Remember at all. He's been, since the very beginning, my rock, and he's my light man, and he's everything that there is for us for Time to Remember. So family is just part of it, and I think that it's very important for the children to realize, any children to realize, that you have to work in this world to make it in this world. So that's what we try to teach.
Okay.
Stacy, we're going to do look at a bridal shot that you've brought in someone that you actually found through Facebook. You put out there on your Time to Remember Facebook that you wanted to have someone in the studio today while we're doing this. Tell us a little bit about that situation and how this came to be and what we're going to be doing.
Sure. I just figured that since some of my favorite work to do is in-studio bridal, old Hollywood-style bridals, we would just kind of see Emily, and we put it out on Facebook, and I was pleasantly surprised at how many people would come out on a Tuesday afternoon. But I chose Emily because it's her 5th wedding anniversary, and bless her heart, she's got the dress and she's ready, and she was unable to do bridals when she got married. She had a beautiful wedding, but she was unable to do her bridals, and so that just struck me as important to have a photo or two. And for her husband's anniversary present, she has come to get her bridals today. And
also, he's might mention he's an Iraqi veteran.
He sure is,
and, served 2 tours over there, and it's just awesome that you're doing this for the family of a vet. I really appreciate that.
That's
special. That is special.
Well, we would love for you to share your contact information. You are a wonderful photographer that is so creative and so fun, and so we want our viewers to be able to contact you and go to your website and call you and set up some sessions. So if you'll share your contact information, please.
Sure. Time to Remember, Portrait Artist. We are at 573 Danford Road in Bolivia, North Carolina. Our website is www.t2r Clicks, like the camera, clicks.com. And you can find us on Facebook under Time to Remember as well. Stacy and Frank Walter, Time to Remember.
Thank you so much for being on our show. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
I'd like to welcome our second guest on the show, Marty Cook. Thank you, Marty, so much for being on the show today.
Great being here. Thank you.
Welcome, Marty.
Thank you.
Now, tell us a little bit about the new business that you have started. It's called Sounds Great Production. Is that correct?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that and what you do.
This was basically a hobby that we started about 10 years ago, and our family would kind of go out and do things like for public events, be nonprofits, charity type things, marathons, even did the Oyster Festival. And over a period of time, it kind of morphed into doing more and more things. So we had individuals that asked us to help with weddings and other types of events. And so it got to be, after a while, we were doing like anywhere from 20 to 50 events a year. And so we thought, you know, we're going to probably go start doing this as a business somewhat. So that's what we're venturing into now. We can do just about anything from a small event to a large event.
Okay. And I'll give our viewers an example. You actually did an event for us in January.
Right.
And it was our annual Chairman's Award. So we appreciate you being there and being our somewhat DJ, as I'll call you. And it was a great event. So thank you. That was an example.
It was great.
She gave me the perfect segue, too. It Sounds Great Productions. So she called you a DJ. You told me off camera before we got started you're not really a DJ. So explain how that works.
I'm not really one of these guys that says, all right, everybody on the floor. I don't really do that. But what I do is we try to provide you really good sound, good audio that doesn't beat you up, if you will, something that sounds really good and is distinct. We have an inventory of about 1,200 songs. 12,000 songs. And we usually build a list based on what the individual wants, based on the venue. And we will build that music, and then a lot of times we'll pre-record that and bring it in and have that running, and then we'll also do a live mix that's hot for them as well. And we have microphones, and we can do just about anything, like I say. We've handled everything from very small groups to as much as several thousand individuals.
All right. Now, you talk about song lists, and you said you got about 12,000 songs, so let's give us a time range of songs you can cover, because the show you did for us, or the award banquet that you did for us last month, was a Great Gatsby theme. So we're talking roaring 20s then.
Yeah.
But we also mixed in, I noticed through the night, some 70s and the 80s and a little bit. So what is the range of music as far as genres and time frames that you carry?
It depends upon what the venue is, and a lot of it's a pre-production perspective, in so much as we try to figure out what the interests are of the people that will be in the room. So if we find that there's a certain demographic, they like R&B, or they like country, or they like jazz, or whatever it is that they want, and also what are they doing? Is it something that they're dancing, or they want music to enhance a dinner type thing, or whatever, then we'll build a list based off of that. So it can be any type of music. What we were doing the other night was we felt like we had a variety of ages, and we wanted to handle anything from a country crossover to traditional beach music, to something that'd be more current. So we've been trying to, and we morph all of them together, hopefully in a recipe that works overall. So it's kind of like a stew, if you will. You try to come up with something. So if you run a certain tempo, after a while people get tired of it, and so you have to change it, and you have to continue to do it. So that's what we work on.
And I think it made it very easy for me when I was choosing and talking to you about what kind of music we wanted at our event. You brought 21 CDs to me that you have used in the past, and each CD was country or jazz or different types of music. And I think that made it really easy for me to say, Marty, this is what I chose. I think this will be great. And so we actually played one of those CDs during dinner. So I think that's very helpful. And I think if somebody was interested in using you, I think that would make it really easy for them as well.
That's something we found that was a little bit more simplistic, is that if you have a venue that is, say, a dinner venue where people are primarily just going to be talking to themselves at a restaurant or type of event, sit-down type thing, then what we do is we have a type of music we play in the background, and I'd provide the individuals with this music to let them listen to it ahead of time. Each CD is about 110 minutes long, about an hour and 10 minutes long, and that shows the actual mix. Now, we don't have to go with that,
Right.
but we can say that's a sample of what this is, and it very well may be that somebody wants to hear Michael Bolton, or they might want to hear Gershwin, or they may want to hear a swing aspect, or whatever it is that they want to hear. Hopefully, they'll be able to pick up saying, I really like this, I don't want this, but I really want to go with this. And so we can do a couple of things. We can play something that's prepared that runs kind of in the background, or we can actively mix with based on whatever they want at the time. They may say, hey, we want to do some line music or something like that, so we can throw in that dance music or that stuff that really has a lot of deep bass to it. We can do that as well.
And you also, the other night at our show, we had some dance troupe come in.
Yes.
And they brought their own music.
Right.
And you were able to take their CD and play it so that they could do their dance steps and dance routine to the show, so people can actually bring that kind of stuff too.
Yeah, we've got a rack that we, depending on the venue, I mean, we've got a variety of equipment that we bring in, but the racks will have 2 or 3 different CD playback devices on it, as well as we have music coming off the computer. And so depending on what an individual wants, we can either add that to it or whatever. We can also record sound. We've done that for weddings. We've recorded actually the actual audio of a wedding, and we've also done photography as well. My daughter has done a lot of photography, so in fact I've done some photography with her. In fact, before I ever got into television, film, and audio, I was actually doing still photography professionally. And so what we do is we can actually acquire the sound of an event for someone, and then we can provide that to them as well. So we can do just about anything when it comes to that type of aspect with sound.
Marty, tell us what the key to your business is. What do you think, what's the most important when you go and do an event for people?
I think it's important that we know basically what the individual wants to hear. Is the music going to match what the venue is, and are we providing that for them so they really don't have to think about it? That's one thing. I think the other thing is there is really no hiccups or problems, whereas you don't hear feedback in a sound. A microphone, there's not an issue with it or whatever. You're not blowing people out or anything else like that. And I think the other thing really is the equipment's got to be good, because the equipment's got to sound good without really overwhelming you. It's got to be something that sounds good, and that's a challenge a lot of times, but it comes from good equipment and trying to run it the right way. So I think those are keys with respect to audio equipment.
And I have been to several of your events that you've DJ'd, produced, and the sound's always good. And the one thing that I notice about your sound too is it doesn't matter if you're standing right up next to all of your equipment or if the back of the room, it's pretty even keel all the way through, and that is a good sign of good equipment.
We try to do that. We actually have metering equipment and stuff like that, so we're trying to really do the best we can for everybody.
And you do a great job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Last but not least,
yeah,
you got some contact information for everybody out there watching today.
It's pretty easy. We don't have a website yet. We'll probably have one, but if you can remember, soundsgreat2015 at gmail.com. That's just sounds great 2015 at gmail.com, and you'll get us.
Okay. Thank you, Marty, for being with us today.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
And that Sounds Great Productions with Marty Cook again. Thank you, and we'll be right back. We are back at Brunswick Plantation and Golf Resort in Calabash, North Carolina. We are here with Robin. Thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, Robin. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Robin is our events coordinator. So, Robin, tell us about some of the events that you have here.
We do weddings. We do a lot of special events other than weddings. We do anniversary parties, birthday parties, social get-togethers. We do a lot of events for our members here. So we just do a lot of fun things.
And you mentioned members. Tell us a little bit about that. I know you have members that live here, but also you have members that just come and play golf. So tell us a little bit about that.
We do. We have quite a few residents here. We do events for them once a month. We do dinner shows. We also have special events for our golf members. Quarterly, we do member socials where we have entertainment, dinner. So it's something other than them just playing golf.
Okay. Robin, tell us about the weddings that you do here at Brunswick Plantation.
We're probably a little bit different than other venues in the area. We're probably considered your destination area. We do have accommodations on site. So anyone coming in from out of town can bring their entire wedding party here. So they can stay here. They can have their rehearsal dinner here. They can get married here as well. We do have a ceremony site. We have a couple areas actually. They can do their reception here. They can play golf. So they can actually make a family vacation out of it as well. So it's kind of all in one package.
And one of the things that you mentioned just now that I remember from being out here in the past is you said you have a couple of different sites. I know out behind the clubhouse here there's a beautiful gazebo, and I think you guys, if I remember correctly, built that specifically to accommodate folks for the wedding, and it is a beautiful setting, and I'm sure we'll be able to show that to our viewers here coming up shortly.
And a few things to add to that is in spring you have your beautiful flowers, you've got your golf course that is beautiful, you've got your white pilings in the front of Brunswick Plantation, and then when you walk in the door, right behind us, you have your steps. And I think every bride loves to see that, where she can walk down the steps. So I think those are a few things that just make a venue very, unique and great for a bride and for a wedding.
Now, also, executive events. You can host, if a corporation wanted to come in and have an event, you're able to do that too, correct?
Oh, certainly. We've had several large businesses actually to come in, and they have actually spent a week here. So we would serve them breakfast. They would actually have their meetings here. We would do their dinners. So we can accommodate those people as well.
So if they're wanting to do it, their annual conference or have some type of team building conference or event, you're able to accommodate that here also.
Of course.
How many events do you have per year? Just about.
Somewhere around 80 plus.
And how many of those are probably weddings?
I would say 20 to 30.
Okay. Okay. Robin, if I was a bride and wanted to have my wedding here at Brunswick Plantation and needed an event planner or a wedding planner, who would I contact? Could I contact you, or who would be the person to contact here?
That would be me.
Okay.
I will be able to help you from the very beginning all the way to the end.
Okay.
I can help you pick out your vendors, such as florists, DJs, cakes. I can help you every step of the way. I can, help you pick out invitations. Pretty much give you a guideline of, pretty much when you need to do things. And I will also be here the day of the wedding to coordinate. I'll help you direct the wedding, and pretty much here throughout the night of when to cut the cake, do the toast, and kind of be in charge so the bride doesn't have to worry about that.
So really, if a bride wants to work through Brunswick Plantation, they can be a one-stop shop. You have all the connections in place with all the different vendors and the pieces of the puzzle to put together that they can say, I need this, 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 and this, and you can put it together, and they don't have to worry about pulling in all these other vendors on their own. It gives them that comfort in knowing that everything's handled right through Brunswick Plantation, and it makes it easy.
It sure does. And it takes a lot of stress off of the bride, especially her mom. A lot of my brides are from out of town, so they don't know a lot of the local vendors. They're not here to put their hands on it. So if they have me here taking care of that, it takes all the stress away. So pretty much they can just come, enjoy their event, and not be stressed.
And you can set, if the groom wants to put a golf package together for the groomsmen, you can put all that together, the tea times for them, so that while the bride and her gals are doing their thing, the groom's got things to do with his groomsmen, go out and golf. Is there other things that they can do in the community too?
Certainly, because if they do stay here, we have indoor, outdoor pools, we have an exercise room, they can play golf. Of course, the beach is only minutes away, so there's plenty of things for them to do.
Robin, it seems that every wedding has a special theme, and brides spend so much time on that. And tell us, what are some special themes or some unique themes that you've had here for weddings at Brunswick Plantation?
Of course, we have a Southern style clubhouse here,
Yes.
So the Southern theme seems to be very popular. We've had weddings with the horse and carriage, and the brides with the big Southern belle wedding dresses. But we've had some other themes too. We do a lot of military weddings, so it's kind of had like a military theme. We've done a luau theme, so it seems to be all over the board.
Well, it seems, we have touched on weddings, and it just seems like Brunswick Plantation has the full package for a bride. And you do the food, you are the event planner, and you are here through the whole process. So I think that really sets you aside, and I think it's a great thing for y'all and great for brides.
And also, Robin, to talk a little bit more about what we've talked about it being a destination for folks wanting to come to the beach and the coast to do their weddings, but there are a lot of things for our locals too here. You've got the golf shop. You have a golf pro, correct?
We sure do.
And can they get lessons?
He will give individual private lessons, or he will give group lessons. We have groups of ladies that come. They might not be comfortable taking the lessons by themselves, so they'll bring two or three of their friends. So he's very accommodating and can give lessons anytime.
And who is your golf pro?
His name is Sean Hicken.
Oh, Sean, okay. Also, you've got the restaurant. We talked about catering for the events, but that restaurant is also open to the public, if I understand correctly.
It sure is. We serve breakfast and lunch daily. We open at 6:30 in the morning, and the kitchen's open until 4, except for on Friday night. Every Friday night we do serve dinner, and that is served until 8 o'clock.
Now, is that a menu dinner or buffet style? Or
It's we actually offer our lunch menu, but we do one dinner special, and so a lot of our homeowners come in for that, so they have the choice.
And what is the name of the restaurant?
We call it the 19th Hole.
That's what I
Formerly
thought.
it was Jasmine's.
Okay, okay. Folks are going to be wanting to find you guys. Of course, you're pretty easy to find. You're right here real close to the South Carolina border. Can you tell us address information? Do they need to call for reservations? And if they do, where? And your website?
Our phone number is 910-845-6902. Our website is, you can find me at brunswickplantationweddings.com.
Okay. And then the golf resort website is different, is that correct?
That is correct, and I think it is Brunswick Plantation Golf.
.com.
But that phone number is 910-845-6929.
And what's the physical address here for people that are Googling it and getting ready to come down?
It's 380 Brunswick Drive, and we're located in Calabash.
And yes, we're right off of 17 North as you head south toward Little River in the Calabash community. It's a great area, a lot of fun stuff to do here. One of the prettiest golf courses in the county. I've been here a while, and we really enjoy coming out here and visiting with you folks and seeing what you have to offer.
Thank you, Robin, for being on our show today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you.
Wow, Tony, what a great show we had today.
Great show.
We've got some great members that can help you with a wedding, can help you with social events. So I'm excited. I hope that I can use all these members for my next event.
Let's recap. First, we went out to Time to Remember Studios, portrait photographers, Stacy Walter and her family, Frank, and the kids are all involved. Very cool place to go visit.
Studio in their house.
Studio in the house, all kinds of things to do outside, props out the wazoo.
We had a lot of fun with our pictures
Yeah, we did.
and all
We
that.
had a great time. Then we traveled down to the studio here, met with Marty Cook, learned a lot about his doing and this passion that he has for sound production.
Yes.
We've used him in the past with their
Did a great job
stuff,
at our
and
event.
he's done a great job. And then finally, we went to a venue, Brunswick Plantation, but it wasn't only a venue. They got a full-service place there for you.
Right.
If you want to do a wedding, you can get your event planner, and she can do it all, or as little as you want done.
And I enjoy hearing the history behind Brunswick Plantation.
Yes.
As a new Brunswick County resident, that was very interesting to me
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So we had a great show. I'm looking forward to next month, and we've got a few things going on within the chamber. We've got our Home and Garden Show coming up March 7th, and we are bringing that back to West Brunswick High School. So
That's
we're
right.
very excited to that and looking forward to that. Applications, if you're interested, are on our website, or you can contact me. So we're looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's our next big event, but we have events going on all through the month. So if you go to brunswickcountychamber.org and look at the events tab, you can see everything that we got going on within the chamber, our weekly events, our monthly events, and you can also keep updated with that website on all the things that are Brunswick County.
So thanks. That was a great show.
Great show.
And we'll see you next month.
Bye-bye.
Chamber Highlight Set is provided by Summer Home Furniture, located on Express Drive in Charlotte. Stop by today to outfit your home in style.